This module describes the calibration process for the EBAM flow system, ambient temperature sensor, barometric pressure sensor, and the filter sensors. The most important maintenance parameters are the leak checks, nozzle vane cleaning, and flow checks. Toggle down to field calibration under the main menu. Press Menu Select. We encourage you to perform the initial calibration in a controlled environment. When the sampler is taken to its sampling location, you will need to conduct an audit on the operational parameters, leak check, flow check, temperature and barometric pressure, to ensure the sampler is still functioning properly. To perform the calibration procedures, a NIST traceable reference standard that has a flow value range of 10 to 20 liters per minute is necessary. Typically, either the BGI Tri-Cal or Tetra-Cal are the standards of choice, though some still use a Delta-Cal. For this demonstration, we are using the BGI Tri-Cal as our reference standard. When in the field, always turn on your reference standard as soon as you arrive on site. The EBAM flow system must be checked for leaks before any flow calibrations are performed. A leak check shutoff valve is required to conduct the leak check. First, verify that a fresh spot of tape is located beneath the nozzle. If the tape is damaged, it may be difficult to pass the leak check. Remove the PM10 head from the inlet tube and replace it with a leak check shutoff valve. Turn the valve to the off position. Since a PM2.5 inlet cyclone is used, install the leak valve above the cyclone to test it for leaks as well. Advance to the pump test line and press the Menu Select key to enter the leak test and pump test menu. The pump will turn on automatically. The mode parameter selects either the leak test or the pump test. Set the mode to leak test. The leak test mode is used to check for flow leaks and to measure the leakage at the filter tape nozzle interface. The pump test mode is used to test the capacity of the pump to determine when it needs to be replaced. The flow parameter is the instantaneous output from the unit's internal flow sensor. This is the parameter you are checking. The flow rate should drop below 1.0 liters per minute. If the leak value is greater than 1 liter per minute, clean the nozzle and vane and perform the check again. A properly functioning EBAM with a clean nozzle and vane will usually have a leak value of about 0.6 liters per minute or less. Make sure the inlet tube and PM2.5 cyclone are fully seated. When finished, press Exit to stop the leak check and shut off the pump. This will return you to the Field Calibration menu. Gradually open the shutoff valve and leave open for the flow check. Leak checks should be performed during each site visit and whenever the filter tape is changed. Almost all air leaks in the EBAM system occur where the nozzle contacts the filter tape. The EBAM has no way of automatically detecting a leak at this interface. This is because the airflow sensor is located downstream of the filter tape. There will normally be a small amount of leakage at the tape, but an excessive leak allows an unknown amount of air to enter the system through the leak instead of the inlet. Allowing a leak to persist may cause data to be invalidated back to the last known good leak check. The ambient temperature must be audited or calibrated before any flow calibrations are performed. Advance to the temperature line and press the Menu Select key to enter the ambient temperature calibration menu. The point parameter selects either the high or low calibration point. The high point is the normal ambient calibration point used for all field calibrations. The low point is used only for laboratory ice bath calibrations of the ambient temperature sensor. Press the up or down arrow to select high. The EBAM ambient temperature is the parameter you are auditing. The reference parameter is the field where you enter the temperature as shown on your NIST traceable reference standard. Advance to the reference position using the left or right arrow keys. Change the cursor's position by using the left arrow. Enter the reference standard value using the up or down arrow key. Enter the reference standard value using the up or down arrow key. After you have entered the reference standard temperature, press the Calibrate key. The EBAM and reference parameters should now match. Press the Escape key to return to the Field Calibration menu. If the temperatures do not match, press the Default key and perform the temperature calibration again. Once the temperature calibration is complete, proceed to the barometric pressure calibration. As with the ambient temperature, the ambient barometric pressure sensor must be audited or calibrated before any flow calibrations are performed. Toggle to the Pressure line and press the Menu Select key to enter the Ambient Pressure Sensor Calibration menu. The EBAM ambient barometric pressure is the parameter you are auditing. The reference parameter is the field where you enter the pressure as shown on your NIST traceable reference standard. Change the cursor's position to reference by using the left arrow key. Enter the reference standard value using the up or down arrow key. After you have entered the reference standard pressure, press the Calibrate key. The EBAM and reference parameters should now match. If the pressure values do not match, press the Default key and perform the pressure calibration again. If the values do match, press the Escape key to return to the Field Calibration menu and proceed to the flow calibration. Advance to the Flow line and press the Menu Select key to enter the Flow Sensor Calibration menu. The pump will start automatically. To check the flow system without performing any calibrations, simply select the 16.7 liters per minute set point without first calibrating the other set points. Allow the EBAM flow to regulate to the set point, then compare the EBAM flow reading to your NIST traceable standard and record the results. If the standard flow and the EBAM flow differ by 4% or about 0.67 liters per minute or more, then a full flow calibration must be performed. Most agencies adopt tighter standards. Met 1 recommends that the flow be maintained within the plus or minus 0.2 liters per minute, which is well within the unit's capabilities. If a flow calibration is required, first calibrate the temperature and pressure, since the EBAM uses these parameters to calculate flow. In addition, the nozzle and vane must be clean, and a leak check must be performed before the flow calibration. You will need to remove the PM10 inlet head and install your NIST traceable reference standard flow audit device onto the top of the EBAM inlet tube to measure the flow. The EBAM uses a 2-point flow calibration at 17.5 and 14.0 liters per minute. Use the arrow keys to select the 17.5 liters per minute set point first. The EBAM will automatically regulate the flow until the internal flow sensor output matches the 17.5 liters per minute set point. It may take a moment for the flow to regulate to the set point. During this procedure, the EBAM internal flow sensor is calibrated. The reference parameter is the field where you enter the flow as shown on your NIST traceable reference standard. Enter the reference standard flow using the arrow keys. Press the Calibrate key. The EBAM should then re-regulate the flow to the set point, and the EBAM and reference parameters should match. Use the left or right arrow keys to return to the set point position. Adjust the set point to 14.0 liters per minute using the up or down arrow keys and repeat the calibration process. After the 17.5 and 14.0 liters per minute points are calibrated, select the 16.7 liters per minute set point using the up or down arrow keys and verify that the EBAM flow and the flow from your NIST traceable standard match within 0.1 liters per minute. If the flow values do not match, press the Default key and perform the flow calibration again. If the flow values do match, press the Exit key to return to the Field Calibration menu. The manufacturer recommends both the filter RH sensor and the temperature sensor be left at the factory default calibration. The EBAM filter RH sensor is only a plus or minus 4% device when functioning properly. Should you see unreasonable values such as 135% or minus 25%, it means the sensor has failed.